Hi guys, and welcome to the show. I'm Manny.
I'm Terrence.
And the new and improved Boom Boom Room.
I know, right? And because there's a
feeling a little
tonight.
Nobody gets that.
I get it.
Come on, Sal. Tigers are playing tonight. I never miss a game.
Oh, that's pretty good, though. That's pretty good. I like that. All right, here's the goods. So the Oscars were this past Sunday, and let's not get into the controversy yet. Let's just talk about the actual show. The show was actually okay. It was actually pretty good. There was some pretty good highlights on it. The back and forth between Jimmy Kimmel, who did a pretty good job as a host,
Right.
but the back and forth with him and Matt Damon, just freaking hilarious.
I love that from his show. It's like he always does. It's like, hey, we have Matt Damon. Matt Damon couldn't be on the show tonight.
Exactly, just that dry humor between the two, and they play off each other so freaking well. It was so funny. If you guys haven't seen it, go back and check out when Matt's actually trying to present, and Jimmy Kimmel was playing him off. It's freaking hilarious. That was awesome. There was also an unexpected bus trip where they actually,
they brought in the fans, and it's from the tour. Yeah,
they brought them in, and they were all starstruck, taking pictures, and the main guy that they were talking to was known as Gary from Chicago, and him and his fiance.
The guy at the front, yeah.
Yeah, Gary from Chicago, and him and his fiance were gonna get married, and Denzel Washington actually married them.
Oh wow!
There at the Oscars and all that, and it was actually pretty cool. It turns out later that the guy just got out of jail, so he got out of jail like 3 days before all that happened.
Good for
and
him.
You know, he
the funny thing about it is somebody made a point. Is that okay? So that's fine. You know, they take over a tour bus that's supposed to go by and see all the celebrity homes, but to see them say like, okay, we're gonna bring these people in unknowingly into this into the theater where all these celebrities are at. They would have like, okay, we're gonna pat you guys down. They would have already known what was going on before they got in there, because you would figure that they would want to make sure that the celebrities are safe to bring them that close.
Exactly.
So I almost don't believe that it was.
You thought it was kind of staged?
It was kind of staged.
I kind of agree with you. It kind of actually dragged for a little bit there, and it was almost borderline uncomfortable on certain parts. But you know, it was good for them. Like I said, the guy just barely got out of jail, and here he is, you know, getting Jennifer Aniston's glasses as a wedding present. You know, that's pretty freaking cool. Anthony Anderson, star of Blackish, actually is
I love the show. Actually,
is actually an ordained minister in the state of California, and he he offered to marry them, like, for real. So that's actually pretty cool, isn't it?
I would love that. I would love that. That'd be great.
They threw candy from the sky with the parachute. They parachuted candy and cookies, I think. So that was actually pretty cool. One of the things that I really thought was awesome was there was a spot like they did influences.
Okay.
So like Charlize Theron's influence was Shirley MacLaine in The Apartment, and then her and Shirley MacLaine came out together. Seth Rogen's biggest influence was Back to the Future, and him and Michael J. Fox came out of the DeLorean together, and he was wearing the lace up, the power laces.
The ones you still can't buy.
The ones you still can't buy.
It's already 2017 and I can't get my damn shoes.
but I thought it was really freaking cool. I thought that part was pretty cool. Now, the flubs. First, they actually put a producer on the memorial that was not dead.
Yeah, I remember that.
That was horrible. But they forget like Alexis Arquette and Bill Paxton. He wasn't on. Now, granted, he just died, but still, you could throw him in there real quick, you know, something. Yeah, that was pretty crazy. And of course, the flub at the end. All right, so. They announced, for those of you that haven't seen it or don't know what's going on, they announced La La Land as Best Picture. Okay, so it's kind of like you know, all groaning because it's like, you know, everybody
like another
musical, I guess, you know. And out of nowhere, Warren Beatty presented it with his Bonnie and Clyde co-star Faye Dunaway, right? And a little after, it was a screw up, and it turns out that it was actually Moonlight.
Right.
That actually won Best Picture.
All right,
Steve Harvey'd it.
So who do you feel worse for? Do you feel worse for Steve Harvey or for Faye Dunaway.
I think Steve Harvey is redeemed.
Yeah, he's redeemed. It's like, hey,
he's definitely redeemed.
Y'all
Because
finally stop talking about me.
No.
Finally stop talking about me. But I feel bad for Faye Dunaway because Warren Beatty.
Well, it was Warren Beatty.
Like,
No, Warren Beatty. Yeah, Warren Beatty.
He was like, here, you read that. Oh, you messed up. Wow.
You know what? Back in the last year, in the last Christmas episode last year, or a couple years ago, you said that nobody watches the Miss Universe or whatever it was, so you can't really blame that on Steve Harvey.
Exactly.
Like, nobody watched it.
No,
everybody watches the Oscars. So I feel bad. I feel bad for Warren Beatty.
Poor Faye Dunaway.
And Faye Dunaway. I feel bad for both of them, but there was there's two sides that have the envelopes. And one
side,
side,
said they had two of them, right?
Yeah, one side had the Best Picture because Emma Stone, who had just won for Best Actress, got her envelope for Best Actress.
Right.
And she still had it at the time. On the other side, that person still had the Emma Stone. He had the other Emma Stone one. Well, they I guess they went through the wrong side and got it from that person.
Right.
Who, during commercial break, was actually tweeting backstage, was tweeting Emma Stone backstage. They specifically told everybody not to tweet about anything once the show started, basically.
So he screwed up twice.
Yeah, if he would have paid attention, he would have realized that,
I was tweeting and I gave the wrong damn envelope.
Exactly. So I think
that
guy's gone. Steve Harvey, you're off the hook from now on.
He should have been tweeting about that. And, they got it wrong, huh?
So I was gonna ask you something, like, for real. Had it been the other way around, because the producers of La La Land and Damien Chazelle and then the cast and everybody.
Like if they had said moonlighting.
Yeah, moonlighting with Bruce Willis and Sybil Shepherd.
If they had said moonlight and then they were like, oh, I'm screwed up. It was supposed to be La La Land.
Yeah.
Would there have been outrage?
Yes. I think there would have. I mean, they've given so much crap to Casey Affleck.
Possibly, but
for being Denzel, but
La La Land won so many damn awards. I would have been like, wait, Moonlight won? Oh wait, it was supposed to be La La Land. I get it.
Do you think that the controversy from last year?
Oh, about Oscar So White?
With hashtag Oscar So White had any kind of influence on
the win?
On the wins.
No,
period.
Everybody that's seen Moonlight think that was an amazing movie. I mean, look, they always talk about like black people and hip hop being like so homophobic, and to see a movie where basically like have people that are, like in like a more, I want to say urban, but more of a gangster lifestyle.
Brokeback gangsters.
His
words, by the way, not mine.
Deal with being a gay relationship. So that was one of the things where it was a powerful film, and people really kind of got drawn to it. So that movie really deserved to win. I don't care about seeing Emma Stone and Ryan Gosling, badly sing through a movie. Unfortunately, it won a crap load of awards. So I don't think that was the best picture. If you had to choose between those two movies, I would definitely choose Moonlight. And I think the people who watched it and voted on it thought the same thing. And also, if you had presented those two movies to people who hadn't seen those two movies, you would definitely pick that movie over that, unless you're just a big Ryan Gosling fan or a big Emma Stone fan. That movie was meant more than what La La Land was. But I mean, look, if Hugh Jackman had been in a movie, maybe. But he wasn't in it. He wasn't in it. He wasn't singing. So the only celebrity and only actor I want to see sing and dance is Hugh Jackman. Everybody else, nah.
Catherine Zeta-Jones, maybe.
Maybe.
Because Chicago was... Anyway.
Chicago.
The fact that it won, and in the manner that it won, unfortunately, that should not overshadow the brilliance of that freaking movie.
Forever, that movie will have Best Picture.
It's gonna have that title regardless of the mistake being made.
But they didn't take back Taylor Swift's freaking award, but when Kanye interrupted her, no, she's still a winner, and so is Moonlight.
So. Anyway, yeah, great movie. I was actually rooting for Hidden Figures. That's the one I was actually hoping that would win.
Helpless Space. It should have won something.
So among the Oscar nominees and winners, actually, was Suicide Squad. What the hell Suicide Squad being known as an Oscar winner for? What's going on with that?
I mean,
even though you don't hate Suicide Squad,
the movie will have that it was an Oscar winner.
You know, if you really promote it,
will have that it was an Oscar.
Yeah, if you really promote it, you really produce it. Yeah, it's an Oscar winner.
That's crazy. And what's funny is that we made this big push for Deadpool. And Suicide Squad is the movie that actually wins an Oscar. Crazy.
You know what? To be honest with you, though, it won for hair and makeup, but I
understand it based on what was out there. I mean,
I thought Star Trek was better. I thought the makeup in Star Trek and the
only one person.
Besides Idris, I mean the girl too. That was.
I mean, Idris was
the girl from Kingsman.
She was the only makeup that I thought was really
Idris.
Good.
Are you kidding me?
Nah. I thought her was the only makeup that was really good.
It was clean.
Yeah.
But Idris was detailed.
But you had it was like 5 or 6 different characters that
and
had to have hair and makeup.
Aliens too. Come on.
You had 5 different characters that they were like, okay, here's the aliens, and we did everybody in the same makeup. Hers was the only one that was unique for Star Trek. For Suicide Squad, you had different type of personas and characters. So I get
Killer Croc.
Okay, Killer Croc.
I would argue Enchantress.
Enchantress was definitely a hair and makeup.
Harley Quinn, yes. Diablo, no. I don't think.
I mean,
that was more cholo than anything. So I wouldn't.
Hey, you know, in some hoods, that's a great makeup job.
Diablo. But anyway,
have you seen Diablo's tattoos?
so this Oscar winner is pretty much it's a given that it's going to have a sequel. So there will be a Suicide Squad 2.
Because it won an Oscar.
Probably that was what pushed it over. But now there's actually talk that Academy Award winning director Mel Gibson will direct or possibly direct Suicide Squad 2.
Well, there had been rumors about that, and he himself had even acknowledged the rumors. Like, yeah, there has been talks, but nothing was kind of like set in stone. So I can't look. I know you're a big Mel Gibson fan for directing and stuff
Absolutely.
like that.
Braveheart, man, come on, Braveheart.
Look, I mean, that's
Apocalypto, Passion of the Christ.
He does great in period pieces. I can't see him doing a straight action movie.
He is Martin.
He didn't direct Payback
and Mad Max. Do you think he knows action?
He didn't direct Mad Max. He didn't direct Payback.
He
didn't direct Lethal Weapon.
I said, do you not think he knows action and the essence of action from working with freaking Donner in Lethal Weapons?
So if they say, hey, Arnold, direct the next Terminator movie, you gonna be alright with that? Are you gonna be alright?
Did Arnold direct like Passion 2?
No, but he knows action. If anybody knows action, it's Arnold.
Yeah, but Mel knows action and he knows directing.
He knows how to direct period pieces.
He knows how to direct period. But he didn't get
a direct period
pieces. But he didn't get Oscar for Patriot.
No, he didn't.
That. But still, he got an Oscar for freaking for Braveheart. He got a freaking all this recognition for Apocalypto. The Passion of the Christ, I thought it was snubbed. But Passion of the Christ. Or did he win for that?
No, did he win for that? Passion of Christ, I don't think he won, but Passion of Christ did.
I don't know, but anyway, that was still a really.
Yeah,
I think the guy knows.
It was the number one grossing R-rated movie.
Yeah, it was. Now he has had kind of choice words for comic book movies, especially Batman vs Superman,
and Jews.
Basically calling it a piece of shit. So. For him to turn.
So now it's like he gets his shot to make his own comic book movie and show up with a good comic book movie.
Let me show you the real.
I'm a little worried.
I'm not. I think that's a solid pick. And given his scandal and all of the crap that he went through for all these years,
a redeeming point.
Well, he's already redeemed himself with Hacksaw Ridge.
I mean, no, that's fine, but he still has the people who feel like. I mean, not that if you feel that way, trust me, I don't believe that you should feel bad about feeling that way. But you feel like that would be his Robert Downey Jr. moment, where he gets accepted by the public again if he comes out with a great comic book movie.
In all honesty, I think Hacksaw Ridge did that already.
Okay.
Because
even though you don't think that it was kind of like people think about Hacksaw Ridge and just think more about Andrew Garfield.
No, because they really acknowledged it. Giving him Best Director was one. If your point was that Garfield was the one that was the highlight, then it would just be him being nominated, not Best Director.
Okay.
But they nominated him as Best Director and Best Picture, and that, the Academy is, from what I understand, is a majority of it is, Jewish.
Okay.
And for them to really just get away from all of that, and let's just look at the art.
Okay.
If they can forgive, seriously, I'm being serious.
If the Jews can forgive, so can we.
Exactly. I did not say that. You said that. Oh, man. This show is going on smoothly with our new camera. All right. Anyway, I really think... I really think that he could
in my head right now.
Which one?
When he was doing the Sammy Davis Jr. thing with him and Frank Sinatra.
Which one?
When he was like... No, not him and Sammy Davis Jr. Him and
him and Stevie.
Him and Stevie.
Tunes the kids. The kids will enjoy. All our young viewers don't know what the hell we're talking about. You know that, right?
I'll put a clip.
I am dark and you are light.
You are blind as a bat, and I have sight. Side by side, you are mine.
Perfect harmony.
We're talking salt and pepper. Sammy and Dean, Stevie and me are peachy keen.
You are white.
You are black, and who cares? Who cares, baby?
You are blind as a bat, and I have sight. Anyway, so I think that would actually be a good pickup as far as... I mean, he cannot do any worse than David Ayers did. not to be a jerk,
he can't be doing any worse than David Ayers.
But let me ask you this, though. You know, having said that, do you think that because... And we've talked about it before, how we always said that, you know, Warner Brothers was really in his freaking ear. And
and that's
not let like, David Ayers really direct.
He probably could have gave a better... He could have given us a way better movie than what
because you watch movies like End of Watch. I mean, that was freaking
I love End of Watch.
Yeah, so you think they'll leave Mel alone?
No. But Mel Gibson is a big enough name that where if he puts his foot down, he'll be like, I don't want to do... Almost kind of like how Ben Affleck's doing with Batman right now. He was like, look, y'all aren't going to tell me what to do. If you're going to tell me what to do, I'm not going to direct it. And Mel Gibson will feel the same way. And it was like,
he stepped down. Now Matt Reeves from Planet of the Apes is doing it.
Exactly. So I feel if they really start meddling with Mel Gibson, he'll be like, I don't want to do it. And he'll just step out. Yeah, exactly. It's like, I don't want to do it. I've already been critical anyway, so I don't want to do the film. And then you'll hear that Mel Gibson dropped out. So.
And then he goes on a rant. Forget it.
And then he goes around about comic book movies. And Jews.
So David Ayers' next project is actually, from the looks of it, is going to be Gotham City Sirens, and we talked about that previously on the last show. And that's going to pretty much be the Harley Quinn spinoff.
Right.
And Margot Robbie is set to return as Harley Quinn. He sent and tweeted a kind of like a cryptic tweet highlighting a possible villain of being Black Mask.
Really?
For the Gotham City Sirens. What do you think about that? Because he's mainly like a Batman villain.
Yeah, that's what my whole thing was like.
But this
I'm trying to figure out how it would tie into it.
It does take place in the universe.
I mean, because you know, Black Mask is basically like DC's Kingpin.
Yeah.
In a sense, to where, or it's their Kingpin mixed with Red Skull.
With Red Skull, yeah.
I mean, because you know he's a Black Skull. He's basically like their like mobster gangster, like he controls all the crime syndicate type deal.
Right.
That's really a Batman villain, but you know, it's a Batman villain in a sense to where, like, yeah, he's appeared in Batman's fought him and he's appeared in Batman comic books, but he's never been a major villain for Batman.
Right.
So I can't see that being a Batman, like, oh, we're gonna do the Batman solo film and they put Black Mask in that. So I can see why they would move this over to something like
a little lighter.
I can see why they would do that, but I'm really more interested in see, like, I want to know who's gonna be Poison Ivy, you know,
Well, I'm glad you brought that up, but I was gonna ask you, was that a good choice for the villain? Or,
I mean, it's fine. I'm okay with it because
it should be somebody else.
Because Harley, I can't remember, and I'm not a big, you know, if you want to, you know, yell at me in the comments, but I'm not a big Harley Quinn, you know, comic book reader, so I don't really know who her villains are. And I don't think, you know, the average or, you know, the casual comic book fan really does. I mean, she has, her comic books are so crazy and off the wall. All we really know as casual fans is that, you know, it's all tied to the Joker or it's tied to Batman and Robin and stuff like that. So we don't really know who her actual, I mean, even when she does the hero types things that she does, it's like we really don't know who she would fight. I mean, there was some Man-Bat things and stuff like that. So, you know, just to throw in Black Mask, who is not one we've actually seen on screen before, is interesting, even though it's going to get the whole Red Skull thing. So I'm okay with that. I'm more along the lines of, like, who are the rest of the Sirens going to be?
So we got possibly Megan Fox as Ivy.
I would love that.
We talked about that. Emma Stone as Batgirl. Possibly that.
Okay, because of the blonde.
The one that I found interesting was Haley Bennett. You remember her from Hardcore Henry?
Oh yeah. Okay.
The Jennifer Lawrence, the one that kind of resembles Jennifer Lawrence.
Yeah.
She was in the Magnificent Seven.
Yeah.
Okay, her as Catwoman. I kind of like that casting, to be honest with you.
I'd have to see it. I have to see her take on it.
Eliza Dushku back in the day, man. I think that would. Eliza Dushku would be an awesome Catwoman, I think.
So anybody that they cast for Catwoman, I kind of want to see their take.
She's like in her 30s now, so I think that she would be a decent age to be Catwoman.
I want to see people's take on Catwoman because we already got to deal with seeing the Joker in a new rendition, and I think that it's a divisive thing where we all have our favorite version of Catwoman, just like we always have our favorite version of Joker. Yes, and I'm definitely on board with that. But so I kind of want to see what the rendition is. Is it going to be more Eartha Kitt? Is it going to be more Michelle Pfeiffer? Is it going to be more Halle Berry? Is it going to be more?
I would probably go a little
Nolan,
a little Hathaway, and
yeah.
a little Pfeiffer. Yeah, a mixture of both actually.
Right.
Well, I mean, you look at Jared Leto's Joker. I mean, that you could easily say that that's a tiny bit of Ledger and a little bit of Cesar Romero. You know, you can't. I wouldn't say Jack. Not even close to being Jack.
Not even.
All right, screw it. He's freaking James Franco from Spring Breakers. All right. Speaking of, Jared Leto.
James Franco and Spring Breakers.
Jared Leto might make a cameo.
Well, he's probably contractually
might make a cameo.
Obligated.
I hope he does.
They probably signed him on for like 3 movies, so he's got to do 3 movies, even if they're cameos. He's got to probably do 3 movies. So they got to fit him in somewhere. They're probably going to fit him in the Batman movie somewhere. He'd probably have like a little small role that rolls out. They fit him in the Gotham City Sirens, and then he did Suicide Squad, and he's done. We'll probably never see Jared Leto again.
If and we talked about this on a previous show about Will Smith also wanting to come back to do a cameo or just being in the movie.
Okay.
Given the success that he had with Suicide Squad,
right?
And then like dumping so bad with
what? We some kind of Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad.
And then dumping so bad with Collateral Beauty, forcing himself into freaking Netflix movie Bright that looks like Alien Nation with medieval. It looks like Warcraft.
I gotta look at Netflix. I gotta look at Netflix.
And Will Smith looks like iRobot Will Smith. And that's what I look at. That's what I see. But it's bad. Anyway, that's another story for another day.
Random.
So Will Smith wants to come back. What do you think if all that happens? Is Ben Affleck the only thing missing from Gotham City Sirens?
Basically. I mean, because if they bring everybody else back, why wouldn't they bring Ben? It's like, and Batman was over there in the shadows somewhere.
I would not bring Batman back for this. I would actually make the cameo for Nightwing and let that.
Which they were already announced that they were actually going to get a Nightwing.
Yeah, they are going to get a Nightwing movie coming out pretty soon. There's
Matt Damon. Come on, we already know we're going Matt Damon. We're going Matt Damon. We've already been out there. The memes are out there. Matt Damon as Robin. I've seen it when they're running through the streets with the whole 1960s.
Boss Logic released some artwork of his with Steven Yeun, Glenn from The Walking Dead, and Zac Efron, both as.
I don't want Zac Efron
as Nightwing. I think Zac Efron would be a great Nightwing.
No,
I think he would be a great Nightwing.
No, Zac Efron is good for walking around with his shirt off. That's what Zac Efron. I don't want my Nightwing that way. My Nightwing is a gymnast. My Nightwing is a trapeze artist. My Nightwing.
You can't see Zac Efron in that role.
No, I can see Zac Efron being an Abercrombie and Fitch model.
Okay, now let me ask you. All right, so there's also Jared Padalecki from Supernatural.
I don't watch Supernatural.
He was in the 2009 reboot of Friday the 13th. Sorry, Jared. Even though you're from San Antonio, we apologize.
That's not a good resume. I'm sorry.
Anyway, there's talk of him doing it. I'm on board with the Zac Efron. I'm on board with Zac Efron.
No, I want my Nightwing to be athletic.
He's athletic.
I mean, he's in shape. But I want him to be like, hey, he can back.
You know how hard it was for those musicals and freaking High School Musical?
I want my Nightwing to be like, hey, he could do an Iron Cross, and he could do a backflip and win a gold medal at the Olympics. Zac Efron can win a beer competition at spring break. Is what he can do.
Just give me Dudikoff. Dudikoff is Nightwing. American Ninja.
Wait, who's the dude that played in Jim Cotta?
Jim Cotta, I have no idea. I was thinking Mitch Gaylord from American Anthem and him and Janet Jones.
Oh, it's funny.
Man, I'm dating myself. All right. Well, I don't know. Leave a comment on the bottom, see who, and let us know who you
your
think
Nightwing?
should be Nightwing. Ryan Reynolds again.
Oh, he can't be everything.
He's gonna be
Even though there was a rumor that said that he might come back as
Green Lantern. No, that's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen.
as much as he talks shit, he ain't come back as Green Lantern.
Okay, this one was pretty interesting to me. We've had some conversations in previous shows about Netflix,
Right.
And there's a lot of stuff going on with Netflix. I mean, they got they're bringing out their own movies, distributing their own things.
Hey, they do a lot of content.
They're doing really good. They're doing really good. All of the original series and Stranger Things and Orange Is the New Black and all that. Doing great. They paid $150 million. Did I say that right? Yeah, they paid $150 million for the rights to a script called The Irishman. And this script is actually about the hitman who's possibly responsible for killing Jimmy Hoffa back in the day. Yes. Now, originally Paramount had this property and sold it for $50 million, given that they're going to lose out after Monster Trucks and everything else from last year, and Ben-Hur. Anyway, so
not have been made.
they're in financial trouble, so they gave up the rights and they sold it for $50 million to STX Entertainment. Now, this particular title, this is what makes it so awesome.
San Antonio.
Is that the movie's going to star Robert De Niro, Al Pacino, Joe Pesci, and directed by Martin Scorsese.
This is going to be a Netflix movie?
Yes. It's going to be freaking amazing if they get this done. The interesting thing about it is that they're going to use the same technology that they use for Benjamin Button. They're going to use it to de-age De Niro through the whole movie. I think he's going to be like a younger.
And we're going to see Raging Bull De Niro all the way through.
And they're going to use the
Dirty Grandpa De Niro.
Dirty Grandpa's gone. Dirty Bull.
Wow, that's crazy.
That's pretty interesting, though.
I think that the effect with the de-aging thing works in small segments. It doesn't work for a full movie. And I think that...
I think Tron proved that.
Yeah, Tron definitely proved that. It was like if Tron had been just for like a scene, a short scene with him without the mask, people would have accepted that more and would like not complain so much about it, which I don't feel the CGI was that bad. Obviously, I know that he doesn't look that damn young, but I don't think CGI was that bad. So I think in short segments, which is what we've been seeing now, even though we got to see in Rogue One's probably since Tron has been the one that's used it the most. But then we only saw that in short bursts. We only got to see Peter. Peter Cullen. Peter Cushing. I'm about to say Peter Cullen is
Optimus Prime.
Peter Cushing in small segments throughout that movie. He wasn't the primary focus of that movie, as opposed with Tron, where he was, and that's why people could the uncanny valley with that in small segments. So if they're gonna do something like this with Robert De Niro, it can only be like it's a flashback, kind of like they did with Robert Downey Jr. in Civil War, where it was just a small scene, and it was like we did de-aging, or how they did with Ant-Man with Michael Douglas, and it was a small scene, and then we moved on. You can only deal with that de-aging for a minute, and then your mind's like, it's not real. This is one, because you know how old the actor actually is, and then two, it's just that once you see it in motion for quite a bit, you start to notice the flaws in it. So that's the reason why it can't be like he can't be that way the whole movie.
Well, how often do you really see? Do you really look at the actor when you're watching a movie? Do you look at the actor as the actor, or do you look at him as the character?
I mean, depends. If you get a situation where like, oh, we CGI'd him and made him younger, then now you're too busy focusing on the fact that that's not what he really looks like, and you start to analyze that.
Well, yeah, but if you're sucked into the story and you're invested in the character, you kind of
like Whitey Bulger in
Black Mass.
Yeah.
But that was his makeup, though.
Yeah, no. A lot of people, I mean, when you look at it, it's like, the makeup's not that great. But you get sucked in by the fact of how good the story is for the movie.
And how good Johnny Depp was.
Yeah, and how good Johnny Depp was. So even though the makeup wasn't that great in it, you let it go because of how great the story was.
And that's why I think, and you said it the last time when we were actually doing the spoiler for Rogue One, and we mentioned that, and you said that because you actually have the actual actor, that's why those
No, it makes that work better.
It makes it work better.
It makes it work better, but I still think it can only be done in small doses.
The only thing that's really tough is that De Niro is in his 70s.
It's a lot of VHS.
You're taking,
but Michael Douglas was still.
That's true. That's true. And I think that the effects for Michael Douglas and Robert Downey Jr. Downey Jr. was just amazing. That looked like less than zero. Freaking Robert Downey Jr. That looked like freaking Weird Science.
That's what I was saying. Weird Science, Downey Jr.
So I think that I gotta see it. I gotta see exactly how they do it. I hope you're right. I hope you're right. I hope it is a flashback thing, but I don't know. The interesting thing about all this was, this is the third time that De Niro and Pacino have been together. They were together in Heat, they were together in Righteous Kill, and now they're going to be together in this one.
And it is the ninth. Godfather too?
Well, they weren't ever on screen together.
They were together.
They were not together. This is the 9th collaboration with De Niro and Scorsese. I'm not going to run through all those. But Goodfellas, yeah, the best.
He makes careers.
And but this is actually the first time Pacino and Scorsese have ever worked together. They have never worked together. Is that crazy?
Who directed Godfather?
Francis Coppola.
Oh, Coppola.
Yeah, Coppola.
Puzo wrote it.
And Puzo wrote it. Right.
Okay.
And he wrote Superman. All right. Anyway, so that's going to be pretty interesting. Keep your eye on that. They're actually shooting for a 2019 release on that. And
I don't know why I thought Scorsese directed Godfather. Huh.
I don't know, but there was a, I think what was it, Fury? I can't remember. Something, Shia LaBeouf. No, it was Wall Street. No, it was Wall Street. Shia LaBeouf, he worked on Wall Street, Money Never Sleeps, with Oliver Stone. Mm-hmm. And he was talking to him about changing a line. And Oliver Stone is my hero forever. He said, I wrote Scarface, go fuck yourself.
True.
Isn't that the best ever?
True.
It was like, hey, Oliver, do you think that we should change this line? Hey, I wrote Scarface. Go fuck yourself.
All right, so okay, so look, I'm not an actor. I've never had to deal with it. I don't have to read scripts, even though, look, he can pull.
Tonight, get it right.
He can pull that card, but look, Bruckheimer. Well, not Bruckheimer.
Bay?
Michael Bay. He pulled that with Ben Affleck. When Ben Affleck was like, "Hey,
for Pearl Harbor?
No. For Apocalypse. Not Apocalypse. Is it Apocalypse? Armageddon. For Armageddon.
Okay.
He pulled that with him. He was like, "Hey, why can't we just teach the astronauts how to drill as opposed to the astronauts teaching us how to be astronauts?" And Michael Bay was like, "Get the fuck out of here."
Classic. Oh man.
So I don't know about what I said. I want to give him look.
Hey.
He look, if anybody can get to pull that card, it's him.
It's Oliver Stone. Absolutely.
But Michael Bay pulled that card too. So I don't know if I want to be like, you should accept it every time it happens. Sometimes you should question.
Very true, very true. Well, so here's something that I question. And it involves our WTF news.
All right.
And what I question is the Japanese trends that are going on right now.
Okay.
There is a new trend for women in Japan for fake camel toe underwear.
That's amazing. Wait, is it camel toe underwear like in the fact that like you can only see it in the underwear?
It's like a hamburger. It's like they put the hamburger sideways.
Could you wear like thick jeans and you're like you still see the camel toe, or is it like you got to be wearing like stretchy pants?
It's actually like it's like a padding with the indentation.
Okay.
And when you wear like spandex and stuff, it's supposed to show the.
But you could do that on your own. You could just wear
maybe
extra tight. You could just be like, I'm not a woman, so I don't know how it works. But I assume that you could just put a size small, and then work on the Kegel muscles and maybe kind of like up in there. If you just look. By the way, hold up. Before we even continue with this, this is my PSA. Men aren't really that attracted to it. It's an interesting phenomenon, and we're like, huh. But we're not like, ooh, did you see her camel? No, we're like, did you see she had a camel toe?
Camel toe.
It's one of those things where like we're almost thinking about like, aren't you uncomfortable?
Is that a moose knuckle?
Yeah.
All right. So this was actually a thing 10 years ago, and they.
It was a thing 10 years ago.
This line of underwear was actually called party pants, and that was 10 years ago, and now it's making a comeback.
That is amazing.
Now it's making a comeback.
Whose party?
Better than pillow pants. I don't know.
What the fuck is pillow pants?
Works too. You know.
Oh yeah.
Forget it. What do you know from Funny a Bastard? Now that's a weird fetish right there. Is camel toise.
By the way, this is Japan we're talking about.
It was
the land of weird
Big
fetishes.
American potty. Man, they got the potty pants, baby.
The land of weird fetishes. And what's funny is that it'll start there, and then it will eventually come.
Will Godzilla have camel toe now?
Godzilla 2?
Oh man!
Godzilla versus Kong, camel toe. Sorry, I didn't want to go there, but he made me go there.
Oh,
he didn't like say go there, but he said
that's horrible. Well, in a little somber news there, but not too bad. You know, not. I mean, it's bad, obviously, but it's somber, but it's bitter. It's bittersweet. There you go. That's better. It's bittersweet.
Okay.
We lost a freaking awesome actor.
We lost an amazing actor.
We lost an amazing actor. Last week, and Mr. Bill Paxton.
Yes.
And we absolutely freaking love your work. You were an amazing person, and we really, rest in peace, buddy. And now it's time for our top 5. And we're back! Off Flash!
No substance.
So today's top 5 is going to center around our good buddy, Bill Paxton.
Yeah, definitely.
Great character actor.
Great character actor.
Great character actor. But he was in a lot of actually big blockbusters. And he's actually in the number 2 blockbuster of all time in Titanic.
Would you say Bill Paxton is always the same character in every role that he plays?
No,
Okay.
I will not, actually.
Would you say Bill Paxton is the, I can't think of his name now.
The Bill Paxton?
It was the Bill Paxton?
Is he the Bill Paxton?
No, he was in Stravecos, he was in...
Kevin Bacon.
Thank you. Is he like the Kevin Bacon of the same era? Because they were in the same era. Would you say like he is on par with Kevin Bacon to where he can transition between role to role?
They're both very good, actually.
Okay.
But Kevin Bacon's an Academy Award nominated actor.
Okay.
For The Woodsman, and you mentioned Stir of Echoes, but then you go and he has fun movies like Footloose, and then he did.
Look, Kevin Bacon is a different person in every movie. Can we say the same thing about Bill Paxton? I think Bill Paxton is kind of the same Bill Paxton.
No,
person
honestly,
in every,
if you really look, okay, maybe if you want to,
maybe in my top 5, he's the same person.
You know what? Why don't we just go ahead, let's go ahead and get to this. Terrence, take it. You go. God dang it, do it again. We'll do it again. Terrence, go first.
All right, so my top 5 Bill Paxton same character movies.
You're an idiot.
All right, so let's start with number 5. Number 5, the punk from Terminator.
When he's looking at Arnold's wiener.
Yes!
All he's doing is looking at Arnold's wiener.
It was so funny in that short clip of it. And what's funny is that
Nothing clean, right?
right? What's funny is that when I saw that movie, I didn't know who Bill Paxton was at the time. And then obviously, as you get to see him in more roles, because he's, I make jokes about Samuel Jackson being in a bunch of things, but Bill Paxton was like in almost like 100 films. And Bill Paxton was in a lot of things as small character actors. And, in this film, when I got to realize who Bill Paxton was, I was like, holy crap, that was Bill Paxton! And it made me love that character so much more for the 30 seconds I got to see him on screen. But it was still a cool movie so much that when they did Genesis, or Genesis, when you ever want to call it, is that they still had to recreate that same character.
And
they should have de-aged Bill Paxton and put him in that role.
Hell yeah, that would have been awesome. I think you'd have done it too.
He would have! Because he's in everything. Alright, so my number 4, Twister. And I think Twister started this generation's version of the disaster films. because
see that, yeah.
you know, because they had done disaster films, you know, way back, you know, when they were doing old horror films, and stuff
Earthquake,
like, stuff like that.
Tower Inferno.
You know, they had done them back in the 70s and stuff. The 70s was probably around the golden age of the disaster film.
Yeah,
right?
because I would think that the 80s was more comedy, action, and horror.
Right. So I think the 70s were more disaster films. So I think Twister started the resurgence of disaster films. And Twister was such an amazing movie.
Well, what was out before though? Was that out before Independence Day?
It was out before Independence Day.
Because I think they're both in '96.
I think Independence Day is more of a sci-fi film than a disaster film. Even though there was a lot of destruction,
Yeah,
in Independence
exactly.
Day,
That's what I was
but
gonna say.
I think it was more set up as an alien sci-fi film than more to being a disaster film. Twister is a straight disaster film.
Natural disaster.
Yeah,
I got you.
Okay. So, and his character and him being like, that's one of the first movies I felt that he was really in a lead role.
Right.
And it was like he totally owned the character in that movie, and it was like he totally let it. And you didn't think about him being a small character actor, but you just accepted him as being the lead role in this film. And Twister, you know, people have gripes about Twister, but Twister was really a good, fun movie.
It was.
Even though they didn't have the cow in the tire tractor scene like they did in the trailers, which when we talk about like trailers not giving us all the stuff that was supposed to be in the movies, Twister was the first film where the trailer lied to us and said some stuff was going to be in the movie and it wasn't in the movie.
Yeah, Rogue One.
Number three, Edge of Tomorrow.
Edge of Tomorrow.
As a drill sergeant, he was amazing. But then he was in that Bill Paxton type of character where it was like, I'm gonna be loud, I'm gonna talk crap, and you know, I'm gonna be, you know, funny. And you know, seeing his character do that same scene over and over again and see how Bill Paxton can redo that scene even with the variations was really cool. And it just made me think that like we probably should have got him and what was it, Lee Ermey? Yeah. We should have got them together in a war film, and I think that would have been amazing. That would have been amazing.
So instead of game over, it was game on.
Yeah. But I love his character and Edge of Tomorrow. You know, All We Need Is Kill, and what's the other title they have for that film?
Sure.
No, because the book had a title, the original Edge of Tomorrow, and then they changed it again. All You Need Is Kill was the book name, and then Edge of Tomorrow, and then Live, Die, Repeat.
Live, Die, Repeat.
So they had 3 titles. So I just think his character.
That's why that's on the poster.
Yeah,
I was wondering why they had that Live, Die, Repeat.
Yeah, because they ended up changing it to Live, Die, Repeat. They came out as the Edge of Tomorrow, and they changed it to Live, Die, Repeat. But the name of the book was All You Need Is Kill.
So it's Gamer and Groundhog Day.
Basically.
All right.
All right. So number two, Weird Science is Chet.
Hell to the yeah.
That is a great. I was like, hey, look, I'm an only child, but if I was gonna have an annoying, you know, get on my nerves, Big Brother, it would be Chet. Chet would inspire me to be better. He would inspire me to be a better person and to be a better womanizer. He would make me get out there and chase some poo.
Now I'm curious what your number one is.
Look, Chet was amazing. Even when they turned him a big pile of crap, it was still funny.
That was awesome. That was freaking hilarious.
All with the whole was like, I'm gonna tell mom and dad the whole thing. He was amazing as Chet. I don't know how old he was when he did the film, but I believed him as my older brother. And like I said, I'm an only child, but that's what I thought older brothers were. It was Bill Paxton as Chet.
Awesome.
And number one.
I
don't know how you can not know what my number one is. Game over, man!
Oh,
Game
God.
over! Aliens, man! It's always gonna be aliens. It was like he was the Space Marine. You don't even remember any other Space Marines in that film. It's just him.
I was playing stupid.
It's just him and the guy from Terminator.
The guy from Terminator. There's a bunch of guys from Michael Biehn.
Michael Biehn. It was just him and Michael Biehn. That was the only Space Marines in the movie. They had other Space Marines.
They were both in Terminator.
Yeah, they were just fodder. They were just absolute fodder for that film because those were the only 2 characters that made it. It was Ripley, it was Michael Biehn, and it was Bill Paxton. That was it. That was the whole movie.
He died.
Everybody died.
Okay.
Technically, because if you look at Aliens 3, everybody died.
It was a bad dream. That didn't happen.
That bad dream was like
3 and 4 didn't happen. All right, my number 5 was Chet, And Weird
Number
Science
5?
is my number 5.
That's number 5.
That's my number 5.
Where's your list already?
Shut
You're
up.
throwing this away.
Number 5 is Weird Science. He was absolutely freaking hilarious in that movie. And from the will you put this on or cover yourself? And he's butt naked on the camera. That's just freaking funny to me. And annoying as hell, but lovable. And the freaking when he's the monster, the creature, it's just freaking disgusting.
The poop.
But he was awesome. It was so funny. Number 4, his character in True Lies. True Lies. God dang it, man. That dude made me laugh so freaking much. He was so funny in that movie. It was just like you want to, well, I won't get into that, but it was just, he was just that freaking real sleazy car salesman type, just hilarious. And the chemistry with him and Schwarzenegger was just freaking awesome. And
second time he was with Schwarzenegger.
Yep, and I loved it. Number 3. Now, I did this one because his acting was good, but his directing was just as good, and that was Frailty. Do you remember that movie?
That's the one with
the axe. And him and his son, they can see the wickedness from people.
That was with
McConaughey and Booth.
No, yeah. I didn't remember he was even in that movie. I remember McConaughey in that movie.
He was the dad, and it's a very powerful film when it comes to religion and all that, but it's very creepy too. And he directed it. He did a great job directing McConaughey. He did an even better job directing.
I didn't know he directed that.
Yeah, he directed the kids in it too, and they gave some pretty solid performances. I thought it was just one of his best underrated movies.
No, that's
one
a really
of his,
good movie.
One of his best movies. Number 2 for me was Twister. I like Twister over Weird Science. As far as him, I can't help it because, like you said, he had his first shot at really being a leading man. So you know, and he held his own with.
I think that he should have got more leading roles after that.
Yeah, he held his own with Helen Hunt, and the special effects were great in that movie. He was great. I thought that was
early 90s film and special effects, man.
Exactly. No, I thought it was better than freaking Weird Science.
It was not better. Well, it was not better.
And number 1, man, Game Over, man.
Wait,
Game Over. Of course.
By the way, you're gonna say like it was better than a John Hughes film?
Unfortunately, yeah.
Wow. Okay.
That one. Now, don't throw sticks and candles or friggin' Breakfast Club in there.
Let's talk about your number 1.
All right, my number one is Aliens, of course, man. Just the whole the science fiction, colonial marines, and the amount of aliens they had. It was just, action-packed, and, you felt emotions, like really good emotions. You actually felt bad, and we talked about this with the Rogue One comparisons, how you get invested in those characters, the Colonial Marines, and then when they die, it kind of sucks.
I was only invested in Michael Biehn and Bill Paxton.
Yeah, well, exactly. And
Michael Biehn...
Yeah, you were pissed off when he died. I was.
Quasi made it. But Bill Paxton hurt me when he died.
Yeah.
When he died.
My honorable mentions was actually with Apollo 13.
Okay.
Stone.
He was in Tombstone.
He was hilarious in Predator 2.
Yes.
With Maria Conchita Alonso, when he was talking trash back and forth. That was freaking hilarious. But you know what? Underrated performance also was one of his earlier films, and this was actually after Terminator, I believe, was Near Dark.
I do remember him in Near Dark.
As a vampire, he was really good.
Okay, so I remember his character in Near Dark, and it was one of those things where like Near Dark was such a somber film, and it was like it was kind of like the moody. It was beginning of the moody vampire type deal.
Well, it was trying to be Lost Boys.
Yeah, it was trying to be Lost Boys, but be like, I'm just kind of mopey about it.
Are you sure the vampire wasn't Edward Cullen in the?
It might have been
in the pre-Twilight. Oh, he didn't sparkle. Never mind.
By the way, okay, so I liked all your honorable mentions because I would say those would be my honorable mentions too, but you didn't get one.
Oh hell, what did I miss?
Dane from Navy SEALs.
I've never seen Navy SEALs.
Him and Charlie Sheen, come on, man! Come on, Tyra Blood and Bill Paxton together on screen.
Who else was in Navy SEALs? Wasn't Bean in that too?
Yeah, ooh, man.
There was two. It was him and Bean, wasn't it?
Was it? I gotta look at the cast again, but I definitely remember Bill Paxton and Charlie Sheen in that movie.
I can't remember.
Are we looking that up right now?
Look that up. I'm sorry.
Who's on the list Who's on the list for Navy SEAL? Navy SEALs is a great.
It was Michael Biehn.
It was
Michael Biehn. I told you.
Aliens Reunion plus Terminator
and Tiger Blood. And there's Bill Paxton. You had freaking F.U. Joe Boo.
Yeah.
From freaking Major League.
That's Graham. Yeah.
Yep.
As Graham. Even, by the way, that was one of those movies where, like, when you start to realize as a young black person, where you're like, they're gonna kill the black person in every movie. He can't have nothing. He can't have nothing. That dude was ready to get out, had a family and stuff like that. What did that dude kill it? Everybody else was single. Everybody else.
And they had to kill the.
And they had to kill the one person, the one black brother in the movie who had a family and all that stuff. And I was like, I was so upset about that. I love me some Bill Paxton.
Yeah, you're gonna be missed, buddy. You're
definitely gonna
awesome,
be missed.
awesome actor.
That ruins him showing up in the Alien 5.
In the Alien 5, that's right.
Man, that ruins
it. He died anyway, fool.
Dude, they're bringing back Bean?
Because he was like half burned. He didn't die.
He died.
He did not die.
No, they said in Aliens that his...
Alien 3 and 4 are gone. He died. They said he died in 3. He did not die at 2 because he was bandaged up from half of his face.
This is continuing 2.
Yeah.
So they're going to say this happens before he goes into deep sleep? They went into deep sleep at the end of 2.
Well, then we'll find. I don't know. I didn't tell your boy Blumkamp. Make a chappy. I don't know. Shit.
Blumkamp is never making this movie. But anyway, Blumkamp. But no, they said he died because at the end of the movie they went to their cryo sleep. And then in 3, I
believe you. I know, but I'm just saying that if they're gonna,
so if they can bring him back, they can bring back Bill. Well,
they really can't bring him back, even if they wanted to, fool.
I wanted him to be brought back.
Well,
that's what I thought, maybe.
All right, he ain't gonna be in True Lies 2. He ain't gonna be in True Lies 2.
I understand that he died with the aliens, and before you guys comment, I understand he died because the aliens killed him in 2. But if we're gonna be like, retconning stuff. We could retcon that he survived. Maybe they could say like, oh, you know what? He burst out of the alien egg. I'm
surprised you're not saying that. You know what? If they can bring back Peter Cushing, they can bring back Bill Paxton.
Well, because they're not doing
That's awful.
in the middle.
You're awful. Go away.
If they said this was Aliens 2.5, then maybe I would say that. But I'm not gonna say it. But I'm saying if you're gonna retcon stuff, you might as well bring back Bill Paxton.
Either way, you're gonna be missed, sir.
You are.
Terrence, take us home.
All right, so it's been a minute for top 5, so
we actually had a good one with Samuel Jackson.
We had a good one, which I think
during our goodies show, we actually had a great one for our.
But we had some technical difficulties. So
recipient, our Lifetime Achievement Award recipient. What I was actually thinking about, we should name it like the Carrie Fisher Award.
Why?
Why not? We should name it after her for Lifetime Achievement.
Okay.
We should name it after her, the Carrie.
We hadn't even given it to her yet, so how can we name the award after her that we haven't given it to her?
I don't care. Because it's our show. We do what we want.
Very true. Very true. All right. But you would think the Lifetime recipient would be an award named after the person who received it.
Did Cecil B. DeMille ever receive an award? Like a Lifetime Achievement Award?
No, but you know what? So the Lombardi Trophy is named after somebody who's won it a bunch of times. They didn't name the Super Bowl trophy after somebody who ain't never won it.
The Marino
Award. The basketball championship ain't called the Barkley Award. That's not what you do. That's not what you do. Anyway, make sure you give us your top 5 Bill Paxton films, even if they're character roles, because he did a lot of character roles. Make sure you put them down below in the 5. And even if you want to mission match what we got together as our top 5, even though there's a couple of them that were still the same on each one of the lists, he's got truly 5 really, really good leading roles and then a bunch of character roles. I will say that. But make sure you comment below, and always make sure you like and comment and subscribe. Is what the word I was looking for. And make sure you subscribe, so that way you get to know about all our videos. It's like, because we're doing quite a bit for 2017. We're doing the obviously as always You Don't Hate, Rule of 2, the Goods Podcast, and we're doing the Kumite, the Pop Culture Kumite, and we're probably going to be doing more Spotlight this year because we got a few things that are coming up a little bit later this year. Once those events come up, and we're going to try to get out of the Boom Boom Room and out into the public.
Special shout out for our good friends at Red Rook Films. I don't know if you can see my shirt.
Look at that, sponsoring already.
Red Rook Films. They actually have a St. Patty's Day themed party and fundraiser on March 17th. They're gonna have live music, food, and beverages. It takes place at 13018 Waller Valley, San Antonio, Texas 78249. So we hope to see you there. It's Friday the 17th at 5 p.m. and Saturday, March 18th at 3. So check that out. They're going to be holding raffles for memorabilia and auctioning off items to raise money to get a really big film camera, a really solid film camera.
Oh, cool.
So
can we be part of that?
We can. So you know, go out there, support them, and help them raise some money to get that camera. You know, kind of like the Blues Brothers when they you sold the Bluesmobile for what? A microphone. I can see that. I can see that. So visit their Facebook page, and you can actually subscribe to their channel. It's a YouTube Redbrook Films. So be sure to check that out. For Aspen in the Back, I'm Manny.
I'm Terrence.
And that was the goods.
Say it, guys.
On that camera.
We just do it on one camera.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, because the difference would have been like, hey, look how shitty that looks. Look how awesome this is. Look how shitty that looks.
Oh, the other ones look,
exactly.
They don't look that bad.
I mean, they don't look that, but they look bad.
No, they don't. They're both in high def.